What's up, people, and welcome to another Space Marine 2 update video. Focus released a developer diary, I think it was yesterday, that I honestly didn't, or no, it was 11 hours ago. So I'm at least a little bit ahead of the curve today. I don't think I'll ever beat Valrak at covering something as soon as it comes out, but one of these days I might. You know, we never know. But yeah, Focus Entertainment released a new developer diary, basically giving us some more behind-the-scenes stuff for Space Marine 2. And I wanted to go look at it with you guys because I haven't watched it yet. I saw that it came out while I was at work, and I figured I would just wait until I get home and then we'll look at this together. So, without further ado, I am going to full screen this thing here. I'm going to put this thing here. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear exactly what we're watching. Okay.
Space Marine 2 is a third-person action shooter set in the grim dark future of Warhammer 40,000.
Really?
Puts you in the middle of a war against the tyrannies for the control of an imperial solar system.
I love how the iconic video, I wouldn't even know the iconic part of this game already is all three of them jumping off and like superhero posing on the ground almost.
You're right in the thick of the action, and hopefully people never have experienced that kind of aspect of the Warhammer world.
We feel that it is the combination of all the things that we worked so hard for so many years to do come to life.
We wanted action in the sky, on the land. We wanted flames. We wanted explosions.
We wanted you flying through the ruins of
working at Saber. When I started working on the story, I spent months reading Black Library novels like No Fear to really get my head inside these characters.
As long as he didn't read any Mike Brooks novels, we should be okay. Or Gaff Thorpe. Either of those. Or Aaron Dembski Bowden. As long as he didn't read any of those three, we should be fine. Pretty sure No Fear is Dan Abnett. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We're going to fact check myself right now. Dan Abnett. God damn, I'm good. That's what I thought. Yeah. Dan Abnett. Let's just stick with Dan Abnett. We'll be okay, guys. We'll be okay.
You know, to understand the Ultramarines and who they are.
So the Space Marines were created for that Great Crusade. They were a necessary component in a war for galactic unity. And the Ultramarines are one of the most iconic and famous of those Space Marine forces that have endured through the 10,000 years from their creation at the Great Crusade to the stagnation of the 41st millennium.
Most human beings.
The fact that you can see the Hive Spire in the background, that looks fucking gorgeous. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just looking at this one little part right here, but that looks fantastic. And of course, you got the little Mechanicus banner over here off to the side. Can't really see much else outside of the big-ass Thunderhammer that Titus is carrying.
Beings in this world will never see a Space Marine. They're the stuff of legends. They're known as the Angels of Death. And so when one appears on the battlefield, it's like seeing an angel of God.
Or a scary superhuman motherfucker.
So Titus is a lieutenant in our game.
My pledge is eternal service.
He's sort of a relic of a time once past.
You know, this guy is an unstoppable force, but you've also got to find some kind of grit and...
Look, I like Clive Standen. I loved Clive Standen in Vikings. I'm just really upset that Strong isn't coming back to voice Titus. But I have a funny feeling that Standen can at least keep the same sort of vocal tone. That way it's not so jarring. You know what I mean?
And a hardness that shows that he's been there, done that, seen more than all the other Ultramarines he's now in this unit with. So we did the best we could in motion capture. But it is very different when you get to see these amazing graphics on the screen and what hundreds and hundreds of people who work for Saber Interactive come up with and create. It's incredible.
Lieutenant Titus, Ultramarines, 2nd Company.
For me to go right back to the bare basics of what acting is about and just be in an empty space. But on the day, it's about creating it and giving it a base of reality.
Lieutenant Titus! Praise the Omnisire!
Shut it down. Now.
It's your journey, you're the player, you're with Titus.
I do like how the prop he's holding for the motion capture just says Bolter 2. But, you know, going back here, when you look at, and I promise I will go back to where we stopped. If you look at these three, you had a whole bunch of people that were trying to drum up a whole bunch of controversy, saying that people were mad about the fact that, oh, there's an Asian Space Marine. Oh, there's a black Space Marine. It's the Ultramarines. If any fucking Legion is going to be diverse in 40K, it's going to be the Ultramarines. Nobody gives a shit. Like, it's fine. Nobody's upset about that. Nobody cares. This is normal. We're good. But yeah, that's what Bolter 2. I'm assuming the other guy over here was holding Bolter 1.
Now.
It's your journey, you're the player, you're with Titus and the Ultramarines. If you can't connect to their faces when the helmets are off and you can't read those emotions, then there's something lacking, and that's my job, is to try and bring these guys to life. I think as the player is going to see a very, very different Titus.
If we rupture the staging tanks, direct the flow into the valley, we can flood the area around the base.
Right from the very beginning, we didn't just want to create any third-person shooter. We wanted to create a game that embodied the galactic warfare that you come to know from this franchise.
Although, to be fair, this isn't exactly groundbreaking, right? I mean, sure, it's a lot prettier than the first Space Marine. They're hands down. But it seems that they're still going to stick to that formula, which is not bad. In fact, that's a good thing. Whereas in the first one, where you were just barreling your way through orcs, now you're just going to be barreling your way through Tyranids. And I think Chaos Marines and Demons, if I remember seeing that in one of the other previews. But that's a winning formula. I love the first game. I still go back and play the first game. If they have a decent story, if they keep that same gameplay, if they actually do something with the multiplayer instead of it being like an afterthought like it was with the first one, then they're gonna make money. They're gonna make money. In fact, I believe the collector's edition for this is already sold out in the US. So the reason I know this is because I was gonna get one today and then it was said they were sold out. So I'm having to look for other means. Side note, do not buy that off of eBay, because they're already listing that shit for like $900 to $1,000 fucking dollars. Just no, don't give those people money. Just saying, the scalpers are going to take advantage of anything that they can that has to do with Warhammer at this point. Just no. I hope you're not that crazy to spend that kind of money on it. And I want that statue. So
the technology that drives Space Marine 2 is our own technology. So the team's gotten very, very good at creating signature moments in this game. And the signature moment is the swarm. We have a swarm technology that allows us to have
World War Z
Tyranids attacking the player. And we're also able to build a huge expanse where you have highly detailed characters and models up close, but you can see off in the distance. You can see that swarm coming at you. You can see the enemy waves coming at you. And you will get down and dirty, blowing them all away.
You feel like you have an infinite universe in front of you. You know, you have sandbox games where you can wander around, but this goes one step further. It kind of almost feels like wherever you are in the action, wherever you look, there is another company of Marines down there fighting off swarms of Tyranids, and you've got up there, we've got ships, you know, delivering and launching, and drop ships landing. Everything's around you.
One of the things people love about this world is the ability to
here we go.
customize your character. You know, you take these little miniatures, you pose them the way you want, you give them the...
Fun fact, Ultramarines, like most people, were the first minis that I ever bought, built, and painted. For that reason, I know everybody's like, oh, Ultramarines, it's so boring. Ugh. For that reason, that's why I like Ultramarines, okay? That's why. Because I was fucking terrified of painting, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some Ultramarines, I'm going to paint these bastards, and that was all she wrote. Mind you, I haven't really painted anything lately, but that's why I like Ultramarines. In fact, I've got Ultramarine shit everywhere.
The weapons that you want, you paint them the way you want. We wanted to take that same approach and put it in the game so you can do the same thing with your character. The game offers 3 modes. A co-op story campaign that you can play with your friends, a highly replayable PvE mode with lots of progression and customization, and a PvP mode that puts you against other players. The more you play these PvE missions, the deeper you can go into the progression of these characters, unlocking skills and perks and weapons.
Hold on. Standard issue Stalker bolt rifle that looks like something ridiculous. Like think about this in like mini form. That would be a nightmare to paint. My God. But I see that they're doing the whole, oh, you have one weapon. Now you can upgrade it. Now it looks prettier. Okay, now you upgrade it again. Now it looks a little more prettier. Now upgrade it again. Oh, now you got this fucking golden gun that shoots laser beams or whatever. You know, the same formula. Progression formula, I mean.
And as you do that, our famous AI director is able to increase the challenge, throw tougher enemies at you in more challenging situations.
So they make it harder as you upgrade your weapons?
Seen with some of our other titles, we have a track record of supporting our titles through quality of life updates, through paid DLC, and larger add-ons. So with Space Marine 2, because the universe is so rich and there's so much to draw from.
So notice right there, they were talking about earlier, I think they mentioned that they're not going to do microtransactions. I don't believe that for a second. As most people know, they already canceled the beta to focus on polishing, and people were pissed off about that, but that's neither here nor there because I don't really give a shit. I think once they realize how well this game is doing, if it does do well, they're going to start pumping fucking microtransactions in there out the ass. Just watch.
We're really excited about, what story we can tell and what things that we can continue to do in this game.
The truth is that we've been kind of circling like sharks around Games Workshop for a long time, trying to get hold of this game.
We believe at Saber that we have the story, the gunplay, the technology, the experience, and the passion to deliver what fans want. So I'm scared, but I'm excited. Our team is, they love working in this game. It's one of their favorite games that they've ever worked on.
So to see what 10 years of development on that Space Marine engine franchise story is going to be like for Space Marine 2, I think everybody involved with Warhammer is really, really excited to see that.
No matter what the fans are asking for, trust me, we're asking for even more.
I hope so. I hope that's true. Yep, pre-order now. Like I said, collector's edition sold out in the US. So if that's what you were after, you're kind of fucked. Unless you plan on doing what I'm going to do, in which case I'm not telling anybody what I'm going to do. So there's that. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. That looks promising. That looks very promising. And if they can deliver on what they say they can deliver, I think it's going to do extremely well. And hopefully this is the direction that future 40K games, goes in. I know 40K is still niche. Everybody likes to talk about, 40K is mainstream. It's not as mainstream as it could be. The first Space Marine game kind of brought it out. I think this one will absolutely catapult 40K into the mainstream. Maybe even more so than the Amazon shit, if that ever even gets off the ground. So hopefully we get something that we can all enjoy, and not something that's going to cause a fight like 9 times out of 10 whatever GW does. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, we're all shit out of luck on a collector's edition.